What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I want to thank you for joining us for another week, another fire segment of Outside the Box with Onney. Now, we all know this month is Pride Month, and I have one of my great friends, childhood friends, on the show because I am so proud of her for standing in her truth. And we're going to share some very intimate thoughts. So I need you guys to stay plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box. Now, this week's segment is special to me because the person that's on this show is also special to me. Now, I've been knowing her for 30 years. That's right, 30 years. And she is definitely one that has been solid our whole lifetime together. So I want you guys to welcome SirKing Hydro. What's up, girl?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Man, I'm so grateful to have you here in this space with me because a lot of people, they know we know each other, but they don't know how far back we go. Like, we go back from middle school, like, we in there like swimwear.
Yeah.
So I know who you are, but for our viewers and our watchers, can you tell us who you are and what all you do?
All right. So, hey, everybody. I am yours truly, SirKing Hydro, or as Peanut knows me, as Gwen or Gwenisha. I am a part of the LGBTQ plus community, have been for 25 plus years. And this month is Pride Month. So I said I wanted to step outside the box and reach out to a long time, great friend of mine, Miss Onney, the CEO.
Come on, big CEO energy.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And just kind of give your viewers, some of my viewers, a little bit more insight on what this month means to us.
Okay,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Now, one thing that I will highlight, that I want to highlight, that I must highlight, is that you are an event promoter and you have been curating events for years. I have known you to put clubs on the map right here in Houston. Can you tell us how long you've been into event promotion?
Honestly, I've been doing promoting for about between 17, almost 20 years now. Started out with some of my friends. We was all working in the hospital, 8 Ways Promotions, Cyrus, and, all of those guys, Lincoln. We started out just wanting to do something, wanting to take house parties into club settings because they kept getting bigger and bigger. So that's where we started out at, and then I ended up branching off, me and one of my old co-workers, and we ended up having what is called Too Deep Promotions. And then
Shout out to Too Deep.
Too Deep, right? Because it was just us two.
Yeah.
And this was all on the what people would call straight scene. And then I just started thinking about other ways to try to bring it back to the LGBTQ plus community. And I was just doing it by myself, didn't have a name or anything, and hooked up with someone, and we had what was H&M Entertainment, which I'm no longer a part of.
Okay.
And I just said, look, what is it that I can do? And I was like, you know what? I got a phone call out of the blue and was like, hey, I got a spot for you to come look at. I said, okay, I'll come up there. And I went up there, spoke with the owners, and they were like, well, what is going to be your promoting name? And just like that, I said, High Lyfe Entertainment.
Okay, I love it. Now, before you started doing your own events, what was life like for you in the LGBTQ LGBTQ plus community, because I don't want to mess that up.
Right. No, you're good.
Y'all don't come for me. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
She does.
I do, guys. For real.
So I was just doing shows. I started out doing shows. We're not going to tell anybody, but I was 16 when I first started doing shows. No, 17. I was 17 when I first started doing shows in the club. It was a club called Incognito.
Okay, shout out to Incognito. That's what I used to do, like the lip sync.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, and we dress up in costume. It's like drag shows, but for lesbians.
Okay.
It's a lesbian drag show. That's exactly what it is. And, you know, we bring the noise. We change outfits. We bring the illusion to the stage. And that's what I was doing.
Right.
And that's how I got my first name, which was Bad Boy, which was given to me by Big Yo. I didn't have a name. And shout
out to Big Yo.
Big Yo, you know what I mean? Shout out to Big Yo, for real. A legend in the community, love her to death. But she gave me my very first name, Bad Boy. And I was just like, I ain't like it at the time, but it kind of grew on me for about 4 years. And then Nisha the Diva started calling me Dro.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? Hydro. And it went from there.
Does everybody know where to find Hydro? Now, for those that are abroad, because, you know, we are everywhere. Where are you? I know where you're from. Come on now.
Come on.
But I'm going to let you tell them where you're from.
Well, I'm originally from Bay City, Texas. Shout out to Bay City, Bucks Bayou Road. I'm one of the Bucks Bayou kids, but I grew up in Ridgemont 4, baby.
Come on, baby, Ridgemont 4.
Really Ridge all day.
Shout out to
house.
Listen. Shout out to Tanya and Mo. You know we love y'all.
My besties.
Listen, we've been locked in. Like me and Tanya and Mo been locked in from the first grade. So you know how they go. I love them. And
Absolutely.
I'm going, hey, listen. If I love you, I love you. Ain't nothing nobody could do about it, okay?
Nothing.
Now, ever since I known you, which we've already shared, it's been 30 years. We're not gonna date ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have always been a solid person. And you know, we all grew up as tomboys. Look, I grew up in a house full of boys. My sisters, you know, from a different mom.
Yes.
So I grew up with a house full of boys. So we all went through a tomboy stage. But for you, that was actually your identity. When did you come to realization that you were different?
So to be honest, I always knew. I was that little girl that when all the little boys was chasing little girls pulling their hair, I was with the little boys chasing the girls pulling their hair. Yeah. So, but I was in denial for a very long time. And my senior year in high school, I was just like, I'm over it. Can't fake it no more. And I just went to my mom and was like, hey, this me. And she was like, girl, we been new. And I was like, what?
Because mamas always know.
Yeah, and it was just the fact that my whole family knew. And I was so afraid because, you know, you hear the stories about how families disown their children because they are what they call
their orientation.
Different. Yeah, they call them different or weird. We're not different. We're not weird. We're humans, just like everyone else. We just have a different love language.
Right.
And love like.
Right.
And that was me. You know, I tried to date guys and it just didn't work for me.
Right.
It wasn't nothing wrong with the guys. They were great. It was, what was I feeling on the inside? And
what did I want?
Yes. What did I need? My need was not for a man.
Right.
My need, my wants, was for a female.
A female. Okay. Shout out to that.
Shout out to
Now, it's awesome that you mentioned that your family, like they was like, girl, we already knew. So you already had an awesome support system. And I just want to highlight the importance of having a support system because the suicide rate is much, much higher in the LGBTQ plus community because they can't stand in their truth or their family will disown them, or the ridicule. And then social media is like a whole nother monster, because they will attack you for being yourself, for absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? When they could just keep scrolling. But here they are attacking you for just being yourself, loving yourself, and loving who you are and standing in your truth. So I commend you for standing in your truth regardless of what other people have to say about it. And I commend your family for standing by you. But how did that change the dynamic between your friendships? Did it change? Did it impact at all?
No.
Okay.
And you know why? You still my friend after 30 years. Tanya, Mo, still my friend after 30 years. All of my classmates. Shout out to the whole Really Ridge class of 98, baby.
Ridge. I hate to be shooting up.
We act like we gangsters.
Listen,
we not no gangsters.
We was gangsters back then.
Baby, if they only knew our past.
Listen, I just look like this, but don't test my gangster. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. What they used to call me back in the day? Say it where they could hear.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, baby. Peanut butter did not play.
Did not play.
It took 8 girls to jump me. And I can't even say they won.
They did, because you were windmilling for your life.
We're not gonna go all the way back.
Oh my goodness.
Now once you realized that you had that support system in place, that you could stand in your truth and be who you are out loud, how did that change the course of your decisions? Like, instead of hiding now and shrinking yourself in rooms that obviously your energy can soak up a room.
So you know how they got that song, that tripod, baby. When I got the green light from my grandparents, which I come from a line of Masons and Eastern Stars and Deltas and Zetas and AKAs. I come from a line of that. High end. And pastors. Deacons and elders in the church. Things like that. And to have such a heavy background like that and just pop out the way that I did and got the acceptance that I didn't think I was going to get from my entire family. Even if they didn't like it, they didn't judge me. They still loved me and just let me be me. Once my family was okay with it, baby, tripper. And I was outside. I didn't waste no time. I was like, boom, I'm out.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And like, I have a great aunt that'll turn 90 in June. And she actually watches every show that I do. And I'm just like, okay, Onney. And she's an evangelist. And she's just anything that I do. I love it. I love it. So just to have that acceptance, I wish that other people in the community could have that acceptance, from their families like I did. My family welcomed me with open arms like they did when I was first born. Nothing has changed. So therefore, why did I need to change?
Right.
So I didn't change. I always dressed like this. So it was nothing for me to just continue it, wearing the weird hair and everything.
Now, it was not always a popular thing. Like the LGBTQ, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Community did not really have places to go to be themselves. It was like trying to fit into the straight crowd, a crowd that would judge you, mock you, maybe even abuse you. I have heard stories of, men being jumped and abused from just being who they are. So what inspired you to start doing events for the community where they can have a safe place to come and be themselves, celebrate, have a good time, and pop out?
You said it. It's safe. It's safe. The only way that it becomes not safe is if someone that is not of the community comes into the community with what we don't like to call drama.
Right.
So, because this is our gateway to express who we are and enjoy it and have fun and be able to go home at the end of the night and wake up that next day,
Right.
So that's really what it is, just having that safe platform for anyone that wants to express themselves. Even straight people, you'd be surprised.
Right.
How many straight people come into the gay community and just let loose
Yeah.
because
I'll
they
be
can't
honest
do
with
it.
you. That's where I've had the most fun.
Baby, you did
That
turn up be
party, like,
serious.
listen, okay.
All
you
we
will
need is
see
some
me-
good liquor, it's a good
Good
DJ.
music, yeah.
We in there like swimwear.
Listen, I'm telling you,
We will
some
pack
of the
the
best
house.
parties I've been to has been
Yes.
in the LGBTQ community.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned how your mom accepted you with open arms. And there was a time where she had to parent you. And now the roles have changed. A lot of people don't even know that on top of you managing events and promoting these clubs and etc., that you actually take care of your mom. How has that impacted your life, and how has that caused your value to change on time?
I say it all the time. My mama is y'all saving grace. She had a stroke 6 years ago, and it left her bedbound and nonverbal. I chose not to put her into a home. I chose her to bring her home. So I did, and I altered my entire life for her because she did it for me and my sisters. So that's the least I could do. I was a bad child, girl. You know we was bad.
Cutting up.
We were cutting up all the time. Girl, it was bad. We were bad. We was
Listen.
bad.
I used to fight. I was a fighter.
Girl.
I'm a lover now.
Yeah. Look, this shoulder here be hurting. I can't do too much no more. That windmill on windmill that much. But no, I made a choice, a decision to just say, it's either be there for your mama or be on bullshit. I chose to be there for my mother. So with that came change. I had to change my attitude. I had to change the way I moved.
Your temperament.
Come on, don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Don't tell nobody that how we used to tear the club up. But it was life altering, but necessary.
Right.
It was what I needed at the time, because at the time I was on something else. And I say, God don't make no mistakes. He put my mom in that situation to get me to turn my life around, because I was headed in the wrong direction at that time. And I mean, I just thank the ancestors for allowing me to be in the position that I am right now.
To even be able to do
Come
that.
on. Because it's a hard task.
It is a hard task.
It's a hard task.
And there's a lot of parents that are placed in facilities because their children do not have the wherewithal, the means, or the mental stability to be able to maintain that. So I always show love and gratitude to us, because I know if it came to me and my parents, hey, take me as I am, because one thing I'm going to do is take care of my parents if it come down to that. So
That
if
part.
me having an elderly parent that live with me, or me living with them is an issue, then you're not the person for me, straight up. Because the person that gave me life, outside of God, of course, the person that God used to give me life,
That part.
he's going to use me to preserve theirs. The end.
The
Okay?
Hey.
Now, if you can go back, now let me not go too far. Now, how is it balancing your career life and your home life? Because a lot of people just know you as SirKing Hydro. I know you as Gwen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have events, you travel, you do so many different things. How do you balance looking after your mom, maintaining the financial security, still hosting events? How do you balance that?
It's all about timing and budget, right? I have a real job too.
Okay, shout
Been
out to
on
a real
it.
job.
Yeah, been on it for 10 years.
So we're gonna call it a career.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have nothing but careers.
Careers. Okay.
Yeah. With my job, I work from home now, full time.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. So I'm able to, when she's having her bad days and things like that, I'm able to still work and tend to her needs.
Look at God.
Then whenever I need a break, I have things set up with her insurance, things like that, that allows me to be able to take those what I call mental breaks that I need, right? Because we all need a mental break, whether we're taking care of our children, our parents, or even ourselves. We gotta have a mental break where we just say, you know what, forget everything, I'm out. No next thing smoking, right? Because it's all about self-care. God, if you don't learn how to care for yourself.
Anybody that know me know I will book a trip so fast,
Quick.
be out the country.
Come
I don't
on.
even know where I am half the time. Now, speaking of traveling, being out the country, being state to state, your career as an event promoter, has it taken you outside of Houston, and what does that look like?
Well, so in the LGBTQ plus community, I'm just now starting to, go outside of Houston. I went to Sweet Heat this year in Miami so that I could get a feel. I mean, I went 2 years prior, but this year just stepping back out into the promoting and things like that, I really wanted to see how things was being ran, so I was able to get a better experience other than the party scene. So I was able to talk to some different promoters while I was there, kind of get their intake, and then, I have, friends that are promoters. So like I have a friend in Las Vegas. Her name is Reckless. And she's an amazing promoter out there. She was here in Houston, and she ended up moving out there. She's been begging me to come. I'm coming. You'll see. But yeah, and so it's like I'm just starting to see how the LGBTQ plus community promotes. It's a little different because you got these cliques.
I was just going to ask you about that. What is the difference in the promotion industry? Because you've been on both sides of the fence, the straights and the LGBTQ plus. What is the difference in those type of events from a business standpoint?
From a business standpoint, it's cliques. So if you're not clicked up with the right people, that could hurt or tarnish or harm your promoting experience or journey in any club, whether if it's straight or gay, right? It's a little bit more easier on the straight scene because you have a plethora of clubs you can just go to where they're going to be packed on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. With the LGBTQ plus, if you're not in the right clique, it can hurt you really bad. A good thing about some promoters in the LGBTQ plus community is that they're liked by all cliques.
Right.
Not just one.
That's how I feel about me.
Right.
Because I've never been a cliquish girl.
Me neither.
And even in our poetry community, there's different cliques. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to We Go Live. Shout out to Poetry or Die. Shout out to the Poetry Live on Sundays.
Come on.
All of them. I'm affiliated with all of them because I love them all. I'm not a cliquish person. Either I love you or I don't. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If you happen to be affiliated with a different clique, then the people I'm working with today, I'm okay with that. Yeah. That's like a Zeta not liking a Delta because of their affiliation when they love each other as a person. So I'm going to support whatever it is you're doing as long as it's not stepping on what I got going on. Hey, we both can shine. It's 7.9 billion people in this world. Might as well say 8 billion.
Yeah.
So it's enough room for all of us to eat and shine.
Exactly.
And so I love that. And I noticed that to me, the LGBTQ plus community is way more supportive than the straight community.
Yeah.
Because if you do something to the LGBTQ plus, they coming at you. They worse than the beehive, whatever they call it.
All you need is a poster board and a marker and a stick, and the picket signs are up.
Listen.
Do you hear me?
Now, speaking of business, what are some heavy lessons that you have learned in being an event promoter?
Don't trust everybody with a smile.
Yeah.
Paperwork
is so important.
On that.
You know, my thing with business, one of the things I've learned, and I'm just going to be transparent since we're having a conversation, not just an interview, is a lot of times when the train is already moving and you already have motion, everybody want to come and be a business partner, or they want to sign up to be a part of what you have going on. But they wasn't with you when you was sweating in the gym. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't with me when I was in here painting these walls or hanging up these curtains. But now that it's established, everybody want to do a partnership. I don't need your partnership. Now I can use your business.
Yeah.
Because you can't partner on something that I've already built. You can only partner on something that we build from scratch. Yeah. So I've learned the hard way to stop allowing people to come in on a tail end when I've done all the work and did all the foundation building, to come in and add their few little sticks to what I've already built. Because people can come in on a tail end and they want credit for the whole pie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they'll take the pie and not even give you a slice. So, you know, you have to be mindful, you know, and one of the things I've learned, and I love my friends, I do, but I have learned not to mix my friendships with my business. You know, I just don't. I'd rather hold on to the friendship than allow my friends to come into my business and do something that I'm disgruntled with and lose the friendship. I'd rather just have a staff that I develop a friendship with than have a friendship and then I try to make them my staff. Because then they're going to have a sense of entitlement. They're not going to be willing to do the real work that's required to do it. So I just kind of learned not to mix that business and pleasure thing. Like, be my friend. Yeah. That's all I need you to be. I don't need you to work for me. I don't need you to work with me. I don't need you to stand on the side of me so you can compete with me, or for me to open up a door for you to walk through only for you to close it once you get to the other side. That has happened to me on so many occasions, and that's why I don't do artist management or anything like that anymore, because of that very thing. People will use you they will basically line up with you only to use you to get to the next level.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me it's like an opportunist. You got your circle that's tight, that's telling you, no, don't do that. That's not good. Watch who you working with. Not knowing that the person that you're working with, that you think that is just this superb person, never would do anything, and the whole time is slithering around your neck waiting to strike.
And sometimes God will use certain situations like that to teach you something. Yeah. And it's not a win. I mean, it's not a loss if you learn from it. It's only a loss if you don't take that lesson moving forward and apply it to life. That's the only time it's a loss. Yeah. So look at it as a win and turn lemons into lemonade regardless of what happens. I have been in some very compromising predicaments doing business with the wrong people. I literally signed a lease with a scammer before and had to really regroup my whole studio because I was scammed. You know what I mean? Had went in, renovated, painted, did installs, everything, and the whole thing was a scam. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt me to the point where I almost was this close to quitting, but God told me, don't quit, go bigger. Yeah. Don't quit, go bigger. Yeah. And don't quit, change your formula. Yeah. Because sometimes that calling is going to keep calling you. You just have to go about it differently. Yeah. So that's what I did, and that's how Onney Studios is still standing to this day.
That part.
Because what they put out there to break me down and kill me only made me stronger.
That part.
It wasn't losses. It was lessons. And when I learned, I earned. So it's all good.
That part.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to also ask you, now, if you can go back to your younger self, what would you tell yourself?
Quit being so damn friendly.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, for real. I've been friendly and genuine my entire life. Anyone that truly knows me or my character, they all going to say the same thing. That's why I'm here with you, because you knew me and you know my character. Right. And you know what my intentions are. But I'm that person that a stranger can come to and be like, I need $400 to pay my truck note. And I'm like, you know what? I got it. Because Mama always said, if you ain't got it to give away, don't give it.
Mm-hmm.
But the person in me, I'll give you that $400 and ain't got but $10 left.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said you needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of my biggest life lessons, that if I could go back to my childhood and learn how to say, no, I can't do it this time.
Right.
The power of no.
Man, what?
That's
how you
know
no. How people really feel about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went through, in 2017, I went through a very bad transition.
Mm-hmm.
It was after I was divorced, basically having to kind of start over. But to the outside looking in, I wasn't starting over. You know, I was living in a nice townhome, driving a Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody knew that I was really struggling for real. And they were so used to me being the one that run to the rescue. If they call Onney or Peanut Butter, let me borrow $100, or can you pay my light bill? Or do you think you can do this for me? And I couldn't, because I actually needed help, but I was too prideful to admit that I needed help, because I didn't want to be a burden on the same people that was coming leaning on me, right? So I kind of suffered in silence. But during my suffering, I realized that my phone was only ringing from people that needed me in a capacity or wanted to use my services or take advantage. And I don't like to label people as opportunists, because I feel like we're all opportunists to a certain degree, because at the end of the day, if we're not living for our next opportunity to grow, then what we doing?
Exactly.
So it's just a matter of, are you a opportunist for positive, where it's a give and receive type
even
thing,
exchange.
Even exchange, or are you an opportunist with a succubus energy, where you just coming to take and leave?
Right.
Are you coming to water the tree, or are you coming just to grab the fruit? See what I'm saying? Because sometimes God will send people in your life to water the tree, and they are deserving of reaping the harvest of the fruits that come from that tree. But then sometimes God will send us people that just coming to grab the fruit. And so I would tell you not to stop being friendly. Just have discernment on who you're friendly with. And one of the things that I shared with my staff recently that I had to come to grips with is I had to stop making heart over head decisions. And I started having to make head over heart decisions and stop leading with my emotions, because anytime you make an emotional decision, it's almost always wrong.
Right.
Even if your intentions are right, if you make the decision emotionally, it's gonna be wrong. So what I stopped doing is being so nice. I'm kind and I'm fair, but I'm not always nice, because what I may feel like is nice, my sternness might not seem nice to you, but it's fair. It's not unkind.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes in a business dynamic, it's not that you don't want to be friendly. Be kind. Just don't be too nice.
Yeah.
Because when you're too nice, people will play in your face. So I've learned that in this big age. And I can agree, being too friendly has really caused me to walk into environments that I should not have been walking into. Just recently, I was on a podcast, and it was someone that I just thought was like super dope. Excited to be on that particular podcast. And after that, I realized that, Onney, you cannot sit at every table you invited to sit at. What you mean for good, that person can turn around and change it around and drag you on social media. Understand? And it took a lot of self-love for me to step outside of that moment and recognize that I am not what this person painted me to be. I don't care what people say. They may tease me, they may joke about me, but I am how God made me. I love who I am. I stand on what I said. And when you're a part of the kingdom, you don't get down and argue with peasants.
Baby, you look down on them.
And I'm not even looking down on you. I'm just not, if I'm not going down there to help you up, I'm not finna go down there to argue with you, because guess what? if you go to the circus and you start acting like the clowns you going to see, you are now a part of the circus.
I can't do that because I don't like clowns. I'm scared of clowns.
So I'm not going to do that. So we're not going to get too far off. I just wanted to share that we both have been through some experiences in business, and I'm just proud of you to see that you are still thriving.
Absolutely.
And that the challenges that you have faced over the years have not caused you to quit. Because it's inspiring, and I love you just for being who you are.
Thank you.
And I tell you in private, and I tell you in front of the whole world, you my girl. Listen,
Hey,
you my nigga if you don't get no bigger. You hear me? That part. Now, what do we have to look forward to from SirKing Hydro? Because I hear you got a new Friday spot.
I do. I done fix my glasses.
Listen, come on.
So, I do have a new spot. Again, I am High Lyfe Entertainment. I just got this spot here. We're going to be calling it Lit Fridays.
Okay.
At Prime 44.
All right.
So we will have shows like entertainment. Like I say, this is like, it's just lesbian drag shows.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everybody come out, perform, do their thing. You know, we tip them, them like strippers, like throwing them ones,
Yeah.
But it's all in fun, I have a good DJ right now, DJ Frozone. I have my MC that's going to be for my grand opening as well as for Splash Friday. We call her Big Mama. They are going to come and just tear the club down. I got other events planned for next month, so on and so forth. But right now, every Friday, it's going to be Lit Fridays at Prime 44. It's 3298 South Loop West, right here in Houston, baby. Like, y'all come out, y'all support. Hey, if you want to do shows, y'all get at me at on my Instagram.
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
But before we get there, I want to remind all our viewers and our watchers that today's show has been powered by High Lyfe Entertainment. And back to you. Now, what you were saying.
All right. So my Instagram is at Mr. Green Thumb. No, what is it? Oh, man, look.
Hydro, Mr. Green Thumb.
Look, how I forget my own stuff. Is that Hydro, Mr. Green Thumb on Instagram, and on Facebook, it is SirKing Hydro. Please inbox me, message me. You know, we got sections, we got bottle service, everything, great food, hookahs, lots and lots of available parking. You ain't got to park down the street, around the corner, under the bridge. It's all right there, right in front of the club. But when I say I am the turn up, and I'm going to set the vibe for everybody to have an amazing experience in the LGBTQ community. And girl, I thank you so much.
And I thank you, man.
You know, we so locked in.
Listen, we go back like repeat offenders, okay?
Like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I want to remind all our viewers and our watchers that we are on multiple platforms. So if you like what you see or you like what you hear, you want to listen to us on the way to work, make sure that you download us. We are on iTunes. We are on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, everything, Radio Public. And also you can catch us on Third Coast TV. And if you want to join the OTB community, you can check us out on our YouTube channel, which is Outside the Box with Onney. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification so that you can be notified when we drop our next segment. Now, if you too want to come and sit on the couch with me and let me get all in your business, make sure you email otb.liveshow@gmail.com. Submit your EPK in your bio, and one of our admins will get back to you as far as how to go through the booking process to be on the couch with me. Now, if you also like the content and you want to create your own content, I'm going to advise you to go ahead on over to www.onneystudios.com or give us a call at 346-491-5315, and one of our administrators will walk you through the process with bringing your vision to fruition today. I want to go back to you, Hydro, Gwen, you know what I'm saying? to tell you thank you, just for coming and being open, for sharing your journey, for letting me give you your flowers while you still here to smell them.
Thank you.
I feel like there's a great thing in your future, and some of the things that you have been through, some of the challenges that you have faced were only to test your resilience. And sometimes God has to test how strong you are so that he knows that you can carry what he's finna give you. And that's just the process that you have been through. You have been through the pressing. And so I commend you for pressing on, for moving forward, for being able to pivot. Because in this life, even if we standing still, we still need to know how to pivot, okay? Right. And so shout out for just knowing how to pivot.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, before we leave, is there anything you want to say to the people that's listening and watching?
Look, being a promoter is not something that you just wake up and do. You have to know that this is like what some people might say a calling. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I encourage anyone, if you have a dream and it's been on your heart, on your mind, your soul, your spirit, and you just can't shake it, get up and make it happen. Don't be scared to take that leap of faith. I was that person. And now I'm not. Because anything that comes my way, I'm going to take it, I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to excel. I'm going to level up.
And that's a word for you. Be willing to level up.
Yeah.
Now, I want to thank you. I want to thank our viewers and our watchers for joining us for another powerful segment of Outside the Box with Onney. We completely outside the box, so you can't box us in nowhere. I'm your girl, Onney the CEO. You guys make sure you go and follow SirKing Hydro. Make sure you check out Lit Fridays. Every Friday they're going to have something new, and it's Pride Month. So yeah, you guys need to come out and show some love. I'm your girl, Onney the CEO. I want to thank you for being plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box.